Oscar-winning roles and how it impacted their careers. Let's take it from the top. Number 1, John Travolta. By the early 1990s, John Travolta's career had already seen enormous highs and confusing lows. After dominating the 70s with Saturday Night Fever and Grease, the 80s brought a string of flops and middling roles. Travolta remained a recognized name, but the kind of roles that could transform his career seemed scarce. And then came the script for Forrest Gump. To Travolta and everyone at the time, it was unusual, a sprawling tale spanning decades, mixing comedy, drama, and a deeply human story about a man who stumbles through history while keeping a pure heart. For most actors, it was an irresistible opportunity. For Travolta, however, it didn't click. It also arrived at a moment when Travolta was actively trying to recalibrate what his next chapter would look like. So he passed. The choice he made would quietly reset the trajectory of 2 careers, but the consequences wouldn't become clear until much later. And that's the key thing here. This didn't feel like a crossroads yet. The reality was Travolta needed a hit, but he also needed credibility. He'd already been nominated for an Oscar once, for Saturday Night Fever, but that nomination was over a decade old, tied to a different version of himself. Instead, he signed on to Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, a bold gamble that promised edge, reinvention, and a complete career pivot. Fortunately for him, the film didn't just revive his career, it redefined it. Meanwhile, Tom Hanks stepped into Forrest Gump and turned the role into a cultural phenomenon. And here's where the story gets more complicated. His performance as Vincent Vega earned him a Best Actor nomination, placing him directly in competition with Tom Hanks, who was nominated for Forrest Gump at the 67th Academy Awards in 1995. And to top it off, both Pulp Fiction and Forrest Gump were in the running for Best Picture. Hanks won the Best Oscar in 1995, a moment that permanently linked the character to him. This was his second consecutive Best Actor win, having won the previous year for Philadelphia. Travolta, meanwhile, marked a dramatic return to prestige and proved his versatility. Yet the shadow of Forrest Gump lingers. Even today, debates still go on. I still believe Travolta and Pulp Fiction should have won the Oscars they were nominated for.
Yeah.
Others wonder how different Forrest Gump might have felt, with his sharper edge and natural irony. After Pulp Fiction, Travolta's career entered a patchwork of reinvention and stability. Films like Get Shorty and Face Off restored commercial and critical credibility, while later roles, including Hairspray, highlighted his adaptability. He achieved sustained relevance, but never quite regained the cultural dominance he might have commanded as Gump. The decision, whether intentional or instinctual, didn't derail him. It redirected him. Turning down Forrest Gump indirectly led to Pulp Fiction, and that nomination resecured his place in Hollywood. One question that lingers isn't whether Travolta made the wrong choice, but what if he had said yes? Would it have given him the Oscar, or cost him the reinvention that followed? And so, from Travolta's story, we talk about a different type of refusal, one rooted in moral and creative considerations. Number 2, Michelle Pfeiffer. Around the same time Travolta's career was experiencing lows, Michelle Pfeiffer's career was the opposite. She was one of Hollywood's most respected leading actresses of the time.
100%.
She balanced commercial success with critical credibility, moving easily between dramas, romances, and psychological roles. Films like Dangerous Liaisons and The Fabulous Baker Boys established her as both glamorous and intellectually formidable. So when the script for The Silence of the Lambs arrived, Pfeiffer was already operating from a position of strength. She didn't need the role to prove herself. At first glance, Clarence Starling was a career-defining opportunity, a young FBI trainee navigating a male-dominated institution while confronting one of cinema's most terrifying antagonists. But Pfeiffer hesitated. The film's explicit violence and disturbing subject matter raised concerns, and she didn't feel personally attached to the role. Ultimately, she declined the role, choosing projects she felt aligned more comfortably with her personal boundaries. At the time, it seemed like a reasonable decision. Few could predict how the film would be received. Jodie Foster accepted the part, and The Silence of the Lambs became a cultural phenomenon. At the 64th Academy Awards in March 1992, the film swept the major Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actress for Foster. The success instantly elevated Clarence Starling into one of the most iconic characters in film history. Pfeiffer, meanwhile, watched from the sidelines as a role she had considered but walked away from, became synonymous with prestige and fearlessness. In the years that followed, Pfeiffer's career remained strong, though its rhythm shifted. She continued to deliver acclaimed performances in films like Batman Returns, The Age of Innocence, and Dangerous Minds. Yet, the industry around her changed. As Hollywood's appetite for complex adult dramas waned, so did the frequency of roles offering the same depth and impact. While Pfeiffer never lacked talent or respect, she gradually stepped back from the center of awards conversation. I believe her decision was one rooted in ethics and self-protection rather than career desperation. And unlike some missed opportunities, this was not a rejection of quality, but of tone and content. Pfeiffer preserved her personal dignity and longevity, even as another actress claimed one of the most celebrated performances of the decade. And from her moral hesitation, we shift to something far more personal, a choice shaped by grief, timing, and the weight of history. Number 3. Liam Neeson. In the late 2000s, Liam Neeson occupied a rare space in Hollywood. He was widely respected, Oscar-nominated for Schindler's List, and viewed as a serious dramatic actor, even as his career took an unexpected turn into late-life action stardom with Taken. That dual identity made him unusual. He was credible for prestige projects and bankable in commercial ones. So when Steven Spielberg began assembling the cast of Lincoln, Neeson was the original actor attached to the role. For a time, he wasn't just a candidate, he was Lincoln. At first, the casting made sense. Neeson had the physical presence, the gravitas, and the historical weight audiences associate with Lincoln. Spielberg developed the project with Neeson in mind for years, long before cameras rolled. But as the film edged closer to production, something shifted. Neeson began to feel that he had lived with the role for too long. He worried that his performance would feel overly familiar, even inert, that the mystery of discovery was gone. Eventually, he made the call to step away. That decision quietly changed everything. Daniel Day-Lewis replaced him, and Lincoln became one of the defining prestige films of the decade. Day-Lewis won the Academy Award for Best Actor in 2013, his third Oscar, and the performance was immediately canonized. This turn of events would raise a very important question. Would the film have carried the same weight without Day-Lewis's transformational intensity? And just as importantly, would Neeson's more restrained approach have reframed Lincoln as something quieter and more human? Well, for Neeson, turning down Lincoln moved his career decisively in another direction. He doubled down on action and thriller roles, becoming an unlikely but highly reliable box office draw well into his 60s. Films like Non-Stop, The Gray, and Run All Night kept him visible, relevant, and financially successful. While he largely exited the Oscar conversation, he gained something else: longevity in a genre that rarely welcomes actors his age. There's also a personal dimension that can't be separated from the decision. Neeson has spoken openly about how grief reshaped his priorities following the death of his wife, Natasha Richardson. Prestige for prestige's sake no longer held the same appeal. Stability, momentum, and emotional distance mattered more. In that context, walking away from Lincoln feels less like a miscalculation and more like an act of self-awareness. And from a role surrendered out of creative instinct, we move next to a decision shaped by representation, history, and the burden of being first. Number 4. Angela Bassett. At the turn of the century, Angela Bassett had already done something very few actors ever achieve. She had become a symbol of excellence. Her work in What's Love Got to Do with It earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress in 1994, instantly placing her in the highest tier of performers. She was trusted with historical figures, emotionally demanding roles, and characters that carried cultural weight. So when Monsters Ball began circulating, Bassett wasn't just a contender for Letitia Musgrove. She was the first choice.
I didn't know that.
On paper, the role looked like another awards opportunity. Letitia is a grieving widow, living in poverty, navigating racism, trauma, and devastating loss. It's the kind of emotionally brutal part the Academy often responds to. But Bassett read the script and paused. What troubled her wasn't the darkness of the character, it was the framing. She felt the role leaned too heavily into degradation and humiliation, particularly in how Letitia's suffering was positioned for audience consumption. Bassett later said she couldn't reconcile the character's sexual vulnerability and despair with the way black pain was being portrayed. That decision opened a door for Halle Berry. Berry accepted the role, delivered a raw, fearless performance, and in 2002 became the first black woman to ever win the Academy Award for Best Actress. It's impossible to talk about this case without sitting in that tension. Bassett didn't just turn down an Oscar-winning role, she turned down a role that made history. And that raises an unavoidable question. If Bassett had accepted, would the cultural movement have landed differently? Would history still have been made the same way? After Monsters Ball, Bassett's career didn't collapse, it recalibrated. She continued working steadily, often choosing roles that emphasized strength, authority, and dignity. Films like Aquila and the Bee, and later Olympus Has Fallen, shifted her into matriarchal and leadership positions. On television, she flourished, earning Emmy nominations and critical praise. And then came Black Panther in 2018, where she played Queen Ramonda, a role that reintroduced her to a new generation and reaffirmed her cultural stature. But the irony is, Bassett remained in Oscar talks for decades, respected but unrewarded. While the role she declined became a milestone for someone else, I don't know if she regretted her choice. But Bassett stood by it, repeatedly emphasizing that success couldn't come at the cost of self-respect. That stance alone is worth my respect. And years later, the Academy finally circled back. Bassett earned another Oscar nomination for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, in 2023, and later received an honorary Academy Award the next year, acknowledging her lifetime contribution to cinema. The statue came late, but the consistency was always there. And from a choice rooted in principle and representation, we move next to a very different kind of refusal, one driven by exhaustion, reinvention, and a quiet retreat from stardom. Number 5. Hugh Grant. Around the same time Neeson was considering Lincoln, Hugh Grant was at an unusual crossroads. For nearly 2 decades, he had been one of the most recognizable romantic leads in the world. 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Notting Hill, Love Actually. His screen persona was so firmly established that it had become both his brand and his trap. Grant himself was increasingly vocal about the discomfort with acting, the press cycle, and the machinery of prestige filmmaking. He wasn't chasing awards anymore. In fact, he was actively stepping away. It was at this moment the King's Speech enters the picture. The role of King George VI was being cast, and Grant was among the actors considered early on. On paper, it made sense. British, upper-class cadence, emotional representation, internal struggle. This was a chance to completely reframe how the industry saw him, but instead of leaning in, Grant leaned out. He passed on the role, later explaining that he felt tired, disillusioned, and uninterested in the demands of another serious lead. At the time, it didn't feel like a dramatic gamble, it just felt like opting out. His decision shifted the project toward Colin Firth, and once Firth stepped in, everything accelerated. The King's Speech became a prestige juggernaut, premiering in 2010 to overwhelming acclaim. First's portrayal of a reluctant monarch battling a stammer wasn't just praised, it dominated award season. He won Best Actor at the 2011 Academy Awards, alongside wins at the BAFTAs, Golden Globes, and SAG Awards. The role Grant declined became the defining performance of Firth's career. The irony of this turn of events is Grant had never won an Oscar before this moment. This wasn't a case of an established winner stepping aside. It was a rare, late-career opportunity to completely rewrite his legacy, and yet, he didn't seem to look back. While the industry crowned Firth, Grant quietly pivoted. In the years that followed, Grant didn't disappear, he transformed. He began taking supporting roles, often leaning into darker, sharper, or more self-aware characters. Cloud Atlas, Paddington 2, Florence Foster Jenkins, The Gentleman. These weren't Oscar plays, but they were deliberate. He reemerged as a character actor with bite, unpredictability, and comic edge. Interestingly, it's this later phase that earned him renewed critical respect, including a Golden Globe nomination for Florence Foster Jenkins. Grant never later won an Oscar, and notably, he never chased one. His post-King's Speech career suggests something else entirely: control. He chose projects on his terms, avoided the prestige treadmill, and reshaped his public image without needing validation from the Academy. Still, the question lingers. If Grant had said yes, if he'd embraced the discomfort, the discipline, the grind, would that gold statue have his name on it instead? We'll never know. And next, we move to an actor whose withdrawal wasn't about exhaustion or reinvention, but timing, family, and a role that would redefine modern method acting. Number 6. Gael Garcia Bernal. Still in the early 2010s, Around the same time Neeson and Grant unintentionally changed Oscar's history with their decision, Gael Garcia Bernal also did in his own little way. At that point in his career, he occupied a very different space than most Oscar-adjacent actors. He wasn't chasing Hollywood validation or positioning himself for prestigious awards. Instead, he was balancing international projects, producing, directing, and building a career that moved fluidly between Mexican cinema, American indies, and television. He had credibility, range, and respect, but he wasn't operating on the usual award season conveyor belt. It was also at that time that Dallas Buyers Club began taking shape. The project had been in development for years, passing through multiple rewrites and casting changes. When it finally gained momentum, Bernal was attached to play Rayon, a transgender woman, an AIDS patient, whose emotional arc would become the film's center of gravity. The role was demanding, physically transformative, emotionally raw, and politically charged. This wasn't a safe prestige role. It came with real personal and professional exposure. Then the shift happened. Bernal withdrew from the project shortly before filming. The reason wasn't creative disagreement or fear of controversy. It was timing and family. His wife was pregnant, and Bernal chose to step away rather than commit to an intense shoot during that period. It was a quiet decision made without drama, but it redirected the entire trajectory of the film. Jared Leto stepped in to replace him. Once Dallas Buyers Club premiered in 2013, the consequences became impossible to ignore. Leto's performance as Rayon dominated the conversation. It won Best Supporting Actor at the 2014 Academy Awards, along with Golden Globe, SAG, and Critics' Choice wins. The role Bernal had nearly played became one of the most talked about and awarded performances of the decade. But same as Grant, Bernal had never won an Oscar before this point, and this role, unlike many others, was positioned squarely in the Academy's sweet spot: transformative, tragic, socially relevant, and emotionally expansive. It was the kind of part that can permanently alter how an actor is perceived, but still, Bernal had no regret. The aftermath tells an interesting story. Rather than chasing a replacement prestige role, Bernal doubled down on creative control. He starred in Mozart in the Jungle, earning a Golden Globe win in 2016. He voiced Hector in Coco, a global cultural phenomenon. He continued directing, producing, and working across borders, maintaining a career defined by flexibility rather than awards positioning. Bernal still hasn't won an Oscar yet, but I don't believe it's a metric guiding his decisions. Still, the question lingers quietly in the background. If timing had been different, if he had stayed, would Dallas Buyers Club have rewritten his Hollywood standing entirely? And next, we arrive at the clearest cautionary tale of them all: an actor at the absolute peak of his power, a role written specifically for him, and a single decision that marked a turning point he would later call his greatest regrets. Number 7. Burt Reynolds. Back in the early 1980s, Burt Reynolds wasn't just a movie star. He was the movie star. For several consecutive years, he was the biggest box office draw in the world, powered by crowd pleasers like Smokey and the Bandit and the Cannonball Run. He had money, leverage, and something even rare in Hollywood: the freedom to choose comfort over reinvention. That was Burt Reynolds. He didn't need an Oscar movie. He was the movie. It was at this point in his career that terms of endearment entered the picture. James L. Brooks wrote the role of retired astronaut Garrett Breedlove specifically with Reynolds in mind. It was a tonal shift, quieter, sharper, and more emotionally exposed than the roles that had made Reynolds a superstar. But attaching Reynolds would also help get the film financed. For a moment, everything lined up. This was a role designed to reframe how audiences and the industry saw him. Then came the choice. Reynolds turned the part down to make Stroker Ace, a NASCAR comedy, directed by his longtime collaborator and close friend Hal Needham. Loyalty played a major role. So did familiarity.
Reasonable.
Reynolds knew how those movies worked, knew the audience, and knew the rhythm. At the time, Terms of Endearment was a risk. No one knew it would become an awards juggernaut. From Reynolds' vantage point, sticking with a proven formula probably felt like the safer move. What followed was a stark split-screen moment in film history. Stroker Ace was released in the summer of 1983 and flopped, both critically and commercially. A few months later, Terms of Endearment opened to massive acclaim. It went on to win 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Jack Nicholson, who replaced Reynolds, won Best Supporting Actor in 1984 for the very role written for Burrs. The aftermath was slow but unmistakable. A run of commercial disappointments followed. Injuries, financial troubles, and declining box office trust
Yeah.
pushed Reynolds out of the leading man status.
Right.
By the late 1980s, he had shifted to television. Steady work, respected work, but a clear step down from where he'd been. His eventual comeback in Boogie Nights earned him his first and only Oscar nomination, but even that came with bitterness and conflict. It is at this moment where hindsight becomes unavoidable. Reynolds had not won an Oscar before this decision, and he would never win one afterward. Years later, he openly called turning down Terms of Endearment the biggest regret of his career. He didn't soften it, he said it outright. The unresolved question lingers. If Reynolds had said yes, if he had taken the risk instead of the familiar, would his entire 1980s look different? And that's why Reynolds stands apart from every other case on this list. For most actors, saying no redirected their careers. For Burt
For the
Reynolds,
better.
it marked the moment the direction changed without him realizing it. Oscar-winning roles feel monumental in hindsight, but they're still just moments, snapshots in careers shaped by hundreds of decisions. Many roles have been rejected by actors, and these are no different. The only reason these decisions require a video is because it came with a statue. What ultimately matters isn't the statue, but the judgment behind the choice. Some actors trusted timing, values, or instinct, and thrived. Others misread the moment and paid a lasting price. That tension is the real story.
The Burt Reynolds one, it does suck because the man was just being loyal. And how can you not respect that? In his biggest, I mean, bro, he was the bull. He was that guy. In his biggest moment, he could have did whatever he wanted to. He was the guy. And he was just being loyal. So that does suck to hear. But I ain't even going to hold you, bro. I don't think that would have changed the direction of where his career was headed. Like, you ever heard someone tell you, yeah, I like this artist, or I dislike this artist for whatever reason, and then they tell you, I don't think that person picks the best beats? I know I feel that way about a few albums. I definitely feel that way about a few cover albums, cover photos, that I'm like, man, this person's always picking bad. Anyways, the point that I'm making is, I just don't think Burt Reynolds picked. I think in the beginning of his career, he was getting these movies that were great films, and he had the favor of God. He was knocking them out the park. But sometime down the line, I felt like he just started picking movies that it just wasn't it. And bro, it could be 1,000 different reasons why. No one knows where a person's mind is at, what they're trying to prove. Is Liam Neeson taking movies to show he's not a racist and he made some remarks one time and he's sorry? Or is he taking the next movie because he has to prove to himself that he's more than just a action actor? He can be a drama and a history. You never know what this person is thinking, what their team is feeding them. You've shown you can do love stories. Now you need to show them you can be taken. You don't know what they're shooting for. Some people are playing this game, the long game, 10 steps ahead. They're thinking 3 steps ahead. They take this movie because then this director that's making this movie, supposedly the rumor is this person is going to be working with Marvel, and maybe if I do good for this movie and I do a favor for this director, they'll think about me when they go to Marvel and I can get a superhero movie. Like, you never know what's really going on. And that's why people that honestly follow their heart and do what's best for the love of the art, like the other 6 people you mentioned, like that person did what was best for them. And usually it'll work itself out. Thank God. God will let the pieces and the dominoes align, and the stars will align and the dominoes will fall in place, and you'll be all right if you're doing it with the right intentions. If you turn this movie down because of family, things will work itself out. If you go do this because of this, things will work itself out. But that being said, it's still a business, and every action you have has a consequence, good or bad consequence. And if you just pick a wrong movie for the right money, but I don't think you're ever really, I mean, you could shoot yourself in the foot, but you can learn how to walk again. unless you stop working and keep coming back, I don't think you're. It was a little different back in Burt Reynolds' days. Like, it was different. Once you were known to not sell box office tickets, yeah, you were definitely, no one was looking for you. You were cooked, and you were gonna have to fight to earn that spot back. But nowadays, nobody sells tickets. Either the movie's good or it's not. Either it goes to Netflix or it doesn't. Like, nobody's looking at you like, oh, you bombed last. Look at Sydney Sweeney. She had like 2 bombs in a row. You think she's cooked? She's not cooked, bro. Someone will still hire her and put her on a big screen. Next year, she'll be in 3 more movies. It just is what it is. It's not the same no more. It's not the same. Back then, you had one hit or one miss, and it rubbed people wrong. Directors weren't rushing to you. Nowadays, if they like you and they like your acting, and a director sees potential in you, I mean, bro, directors these days, they want the person that everybody's sleeping on, because it's gonna be even bigger. Like, who doesn't want the Robert Downey Jr. story? Like a Jon Favreau, who went from directing Jungle Book and The Lion King, the real version, to being the guy that gambled on Robert Downey Jr. when everybody else was like, no, don't hire him. He's too much of a risk. He took the gamble, and look at what the movies did. Iron Man 1, 2, 3. And what it did, it resurrected Robert Downey Jr.'s career. But the point is, who doesn't want to take credit for saying, I trusted in such and such when nobody else did? So yeah, nowadays it's not the same. Like, if you really want it, you can get it back. It might not be easy. It might not be right away or as quick as you want it to happen. But if you really want it, you can get it back. At least that's how I look at it. Ain't no way that I'm letting one... Bro, how many times have I reacted to people's box office numbers? From Denzel to Tom Cruise to Will Smith to Jack Nicholson to Vince Vaughn. Like, we've done this. We've seen it. We've seen the numbers. The proof is in the numbers. Jack Nicholson will go... Will Smith, Denzel, they'll go from one movie in 2012 and they got paid $100,000 and the movie had a $75 million budget and the movie made $60 million. It lost money. And then the very next movie, it'll be a Jack Nicholson, as good as it gets, and he gets $4 million on a $110 million budget, and the movie makes $200 million. Like, it's all over the place. One movie, you lost money. You got paid 100 G's, barely got paid anything. And the next movie, you're making $4 million, and you help us sell $200 million. Like, the numbers are all over the place these days. So yeah, if you keep coming back, it'll work itself out. Not always. And, you know, if you got a family to attend to, and you're busy, and you're kind of auditioning, and you're kind of you're half-stepping, all right, maybe it's not going to work itself out the way you'd like it to. But if this is what you do, I mean, you're auditioning, you're in it, you're focused, you're locked in, yeah, you can get back to where you want to get to. Like Burt Reynolds, bro, you think that man was 100% trying to get back to where he was? No. That man was probably taking down some pressure, hanging out with some baddies, you know, living life. Maybe had kids and a wife, focused on the different things. It's not like he was out there day and night trying to figure out, how can I become that box office guy? At least I don't think so, because I think if he would have got there. Look at the roles he was taking. Are you kidding me? Some of those roles are like, I mean, I take it, but it's because I'm broke.
What's the deal with airplane peanuts?
Out of all the comedians working today, few are better at impersonating their peers than Andrew Santino.
Oh, dude, can this guy, Jay Farrow, love that guy.
AI?
Beanie's hanging off his head like he's the summer winter for this guy.
Yeah, dude, my dad used to live
he
inside of a water
sounds just
tower,
like
dude. He'd
Bill
swim
Burr.
to the top like every morning for air, just go back down and have babies, dude.
I'm not Bobby Mutta.
I'm Bobby Mom.
You're never gonna make it.
He must know
Bottom's
her.
gonna drop out.
That's
Save
unbelievable.
your money.
Son, unbelievable.
So crazy.
Unbelievable how good you are at impressions.
Bro,
But out
you
of all the
sound
impressions
like
in Andrew's
Bill
bag,
Burr.
there's one voice in particular that he does better than the rest.
It's Mark Norman, comedy.
And this video contains all of the best moments
Hold
of
it
Andrew
up.
Santino doing Mark Normand, Ayo, pause, starting off on Whiskey Ginger with Brendan Sagalow.
No, pull it up.
There's only one comic I can do flawlessly.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've heard me, maybe have seen me do it. But my
okay.
Normand is
Oh, I think
undefeated.
I have seen you do Norman. Hey, hey.
Like,
That's
give me
Tim
anything
Dillon's
that he
brother.
says. Like, give me
I
something to
don't
say.
know.
He says stuff like, well, that's not fair, a lot.
Yeah, well, that's
No,
not fair.
pull it up.
Whoa,
I know.
that is really
People
good.
get creeped out.
Holy.
And I think he hates it. Like, I think Norman doesn't like, because I think I did it to him on We Might Be Drunk when they were in LA. And he would just go like this.
Of course,
He goes,
yeah.
"Ugh."
He goes,
Yeah,
It's creepy. I don't like that.
dude, that is creepy.
Hey, that's good.
He goes, hey, you know I'm doing it. I'm Kevin Hart. I'm gay.
I'm gay. Give it her.
How good of an impression? Does that be
No,
real?
no, you got the best impression.
You talk to me and I'll be Mark. Ready? Go ahead.
Hey, Mark. What do you? Should I get management?
I don't know. What are you? You know, these guys are all robbing you. The Jews. What are you gonna do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Comedy.
What about is your podcast? How's the podcast going with Joe List?
Pretty good. Joe's pretty good. Unless he's having a bad day, got a breakout or something like that, then we can't do anything. Can't tape comedy.
What's your favorite city to perform in?
Nah, I like them all. They're all good. Doesn't really matter.
Wow.
Not really a big fan of one more than the other. Come out and see me. Go to marknorman.com, get the tickets. Watch my YouTube.
That's good.
How close is that?
Perfect.
I think I
dude.
want to do him
Your money,
if we
baby.
tour together. If we get on the tour together, I want to do my set as him one night.
Dude, do it.
Just
Yeah,
get
go
stoned
ahead.
Just
and do-
and do it.
Hey, I'm Kevin Hart. Comedy.
I love Norman. I think he's one of the best joke writers we got right now.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had a good tweet the other day. I saw him. He tweeted
Genuinely,
something.
he's a killer.
He said, just saw a guy giving himself the vaccine under a bridge. That made me laugh hard.
He also had one. Hold on, he had one today that got me really good. He goes, I'll read it in his voice.
An erection is basically an energy bar for a vampire. Hey, can I pop on?
That's actually really
Can
good.
I do some
That's a
time?
really good Norman.
Hey, Italian Jew, what are you going to do?
Oh my God.
Make you pasta, steal your
That's
money?
crazy. I bet his wife will have a baby and he'll be like,
Wait,
"Yeah,
wait,
no,
wait,
good
wait.
luck." Like, that's just-
He's having a.
Does Andrew know who Jews? Did he just say that's a Jew? What are you gonna do? Make you pasta, steal your money? I don't think I put pasta and Jews in the same group category.
Soon, and I guarantee
Right,
you
he's
he
going to be
will.
like, "Oh, I just got
Yeah.
5 minutes."
You got to do a spot.
How do you do that?
He'll name the kid Esty just to kiss the ring.
Oh, God.
Hey, little Esty came out. Got to do a spot. Got to do 5. Quick, got to touch 5.
He's, I don't know, because being around, we kind of are the same generation, him and I, so I can't do celebrities, like fame. You know when people do, like, I can't do
Sure.
those. I can do people I know that I've heard
Right,
enough
right.
over
That
the
makes
years
sense.
that it gets
Interesting.
Probably why
etched
you're
into
so
my...
good.
Because we...
I think
you know,
Mark's voice probably isn't that hard to do.
You just go back here. And then it's more mannerism.
It's more mannerism than anything.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like,
Gotta go.
Yeah,
and he does
yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff, yeah. He's a 90-year-old man.
Yeah, he is.
Like really rad, and like he knew he was dying, which was even more tragic. And then he talked
Normand.
about
I mean, Norm
Mark
McDonald.
Norman?
Hey, I'm dying soon.
Hey,
Hey, I gotta get out of
comedy,
here.
more like tragedy.
Turns out I'm actually gay.
Holy.
Yeah.
Hey, after all these years.
Yeah. It's like you're throwing your voice. Wait, that's crazy. Let me close my eyes. Do it again.
Hey, Jordan, Ian, couple of Jews. Only one of them is. You'll figure it out.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Wow.
Really
now,
good.
dude, Mark Norman is Bernie Mac.
What? That's so
I ain't
good.
scared of you, mother.
Yeah. I ain't scared of you, mother.
I'm big bone.
Does he have like fused back?
I'm not fat, I'm big bone. Yeah, get out of here.
Yes.
Is that good?
That's so good.
I don't perform stand-up comedy. I perform surgery.
Mark Norman.
You crazy.
Hey, I'm just a doctor. What do you want me to do?
Oh my God.
You foolish whore. Now, let me put this stethoscope to you.
He's like the Batman scenario where they had where he couldn't turn his head
Bane? Oh.
in
Michael
Keaton.
Keaton.
Yeah, Michael
Yes.
Keaton.
Where they
Yeah,
forgot to
yeah,
get
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Which is pretty cool in the new Batman that he said he was like, I want to be able to turn my head. That was a good ode to the nerds.
Hey, I take your blood, but I'm not a vampire. All right.
It's like we have 2 guests.
I don't know. You get some guy got on stage, freaked everyone
I
out.
forgot you do a perfect Norman.
I know I did it with Ian and Jordan too. It's like I know he's probably hates it because I do it all the time. Now that we were
don't-
on
people
tour-
do not like impressions of themselves.
No, why would they?
They don't.
Yeah,
they do not
I
like
wouldn't.
Sounds exactly like.
I wouldn't like.
I'm gay.
Comedy.
Soda.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
God, I love it. I love when people do, as a voice guy, and
Yeah,
you do voices,
yeah.
and when someone does something that you've never heard before or accurately.
He's a weird one. I don't know why I found I could do him. I think I heard him one time.
Yeah, how did you
and
find out?
I think maybe sometimes I say words that are similar to him, and I just found it in my own voice. I got 2 women yelling at me, harder, deeper. It's kind of Normandy. It's a little
It
Normandy.
is. Oh yeah, well
Hey, harder, deeper. What are you gonna do? All right, I'm gay.
God.
I know you.
That's my Sam Morril laughing at Mark. Ready?
Do Sam.
So here, do a joke on the pod. Oh, it's crazy because I was at New York. I was at the Knicks game, right? And I was at the Knicks. I mean, it's not a good say. My Sam is just a little
It
done.
used to be Knickerbocker. All right.
No, but we were at
Should
the
have called
Knicks
him
game.
Knickerbocker. Uh-oh, heads up.
Wow, that's money.
That's actually good.
Now I can't laugh without hearing Adam Ray do my laugh.
Oh, hold on a second. I gotta mix it up.
God damn, they nailed us, dude.
They killed it.
It is flattering though when it's 2 people who are that funny,
Yeah.
just nailing you.
Nailing it. And they're very talented. I could never do this in a million years.
Yeah. But it's so funny. I was texting with Adam Ray before I saw it, like a couple days before I saw this, and he actually told me, he's like, you know, I listen to you and Mark's pod all the time.
Wow.
And I said, really? And then I saw that, I was like, holy. Sometimes people just say stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh no, he listens. That's insane.
Yeah, I say that to people all the time. Oh, big fan of the pod.
Big fan.
I love
the work you do.
I've never heard of a minute of it.
Hey,
You know what's impressive?
hey, I just seen PBM. I just seen Black Boy Max run into Busta, and you know, legendary, of course. He wanted to show him love. I swear, Busta hit him with the "love your work, love what you do." Congratulations. I swear, I could be 100% wrong. I do not think Busta had any clue who that man was. Maybe someone on his team was like, streamer. He's streamer. Maybe someone threw a word in there that he was quick on his feet, but he was like, love what you do. God bless. Keep it up. You know Busta. Busta's a solid. He's a stand-up guy. At least it seems like. But it did not feel like he knew who he was talking to.
Both of them is they don't really
If
use it
anything,
in their act. It's
hey, since I'm on the topic, I ain't think I would talk about this, but since I'm on the topic, if anything, if you watch it, it almost felt like Busta was trying to fill him out and see, is he trolling me? Because, you know, Busta ain't having it with these goofies out here today. He was like, because, you know, Black Boy was like, yo, bro, legendary, love what you do. Probably really wanted to ask, can I get your number? You know, maybe we do a stream. But he was just giving him his praises, showing him love. And Busta's just, like, looking at him in his eyes, like, trying to figure him out, like, well, where's the punchline? Is it, you know, because, you know, you get these guys like Gerald who walk up to guys like, I don't know, they'll walk up to a Busta and say things like, Future, like, you know what I mean? Like, trolling, things like that.
Soder, where like
Love what you
Soder
do.
can just break into any impression, but he doesn't because he's aware. It's like the Jim Carrey thing back in the day. He was doing impressions, and then he did better when he was just him.
Right.
You know, but I always admire people who have that ability and then don't even feel the need to use it.
Do you think that's innate
What?
with the impressions?
I think a little bit, but I think you got like a bit. You got to work on
You
it.
gotta hone it.
Because you could see he's doesn't quite have my voice down yet. So he's clearly worked on the laugh. And
Yeah.
then, but I wonder how they do. Do you think they record it and then like that was close? I wonder.
I think they have an ear. I think they go, oh, that
They
sounded
got
right
the
when
ear.
I did
They
that.
got an ear for
God,
it.
it's impressive.
And then you know what's the
Super
weird thing is
impressive.
when people go, does that piss you off? Is that why? I'm like, no, it's flattering as hell.
yeah,
They took the time to do me. They do it well.
I laughed.
love it.
The first time I saw it, I forgot who sent it to me. It might have been one of you guys, but I was laughing my ass off. I
Yeah,
was like, this
same.
I laughed out loud. I was like, I can't. I did my dumb laugh out loud. It elicited the laugh he was doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I did Bad
It's a bird
Friends
call.
on Saturday or Friday, and I was like, Santino, do it to me. And that's really eerie when he's like in front of you doing you, and you're like, you're responding, and then he repeats the response, and you're like, it's like the Spider-Man meme.
Whoa.
I don't know who's who. Now we gotta squash a beef.
You and I?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
Well, you're going mad viral with these impressions.
I'm trying to steal your act, dude. I
Yeah.
steal his act. I'm stealing your act, dude.
Yeah.
It's
What-
good impression. It's very good.
Are you offended by it?
No, but
Yeah,
Nick Mullen and you should have a me off.
Well, Mullen is good at it.
Oh my God,
Is
he's
he?
killer.
Let me see if I can. Go. I'll just
Let's
copy
hear
what you
his.
say. Let's see.
All right.
I want to hear. I actually want to hear Mullen.
We should probably pull it
Yeah,
up.
I wanna hear
I don't know
Mullen.
if it's
I'll try.
documented.
Pull it up.
Really good.
Okay.
Yeah, you
That's
do
good.
Norman.
Well, you do it for. I'll do the third.
I have to keep hearing him, and then I can do it.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, I'm gay.
Hey, I'm gay.
This is pretty close. All right,
This is
that's
pretty
not bad.
close.
All right, it's not
That's
bad.
the one though.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. When you go, I'm gay. And then look away.
I actually asked him to do it at the bar.
I did.
Oh,
Right
really?
just now. I was like, do Norman.
Oh wow, it's very good.
Yeah, you got.
It does. I imagine it would bother you.
No, I don't care.
I can do people I'm friends with if I hear it and I go, oh, I think I can reach that in my voice.
Right.
And yours is me just going,
Here. Right. I just tuck it back.
Here.
Dang, pretty good.
Yeah, Bobby's impressions are
I don't know what Bobby's doing.
Learning good.
Why can't
Bobby's
a man
doing
say
Bobby.
the N-word?
Bobby's doing Bobby too.
That's so good.
Bobby's doing Bobby's
What the-
cousins.
That's better than any impression.
I don't even know how I
been
think I started it again because Mark and I and those guys have known each other. That was what was that Comedy Central? It had been 16 years or 15 years
Yeah,
ago.
2015, and Mark
No,
did the season
Mark
prior.
for 17
Oh, he
years.
did the one before. Yeah, dude, I
wonder you could do
remember
his
meeting
voice.
him and hearing his voice and be like, that is the most dynamic.
I
And it
know.
was not like a put on because when you sit and you just chat with Mark,
Yeah.
it's that. It's just it's a
No,
little bit
that's how
quieter.
he talks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not like when you meet a guy and then you see them on stage and you're like, that's
Yeah.
not how he sounds.
Oh yeah, especially with a lot of people are doing like black accents on. Do you know any comedians?
Hey, let's get into it. Dude, honestly, we talk about it all the time. It drives me nuts.
It's insane.
Those Indian comics who
Wait,
do
a
the
lot of
black
people are
voice.
doing
I think
what?
Norman's doing the Jew voice.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, that's good.
You're Jew facing.
You're Jew facing.
Stop Jew facing, dude. We're getting sick of it, dude. We don't like
Wait,
it. We talk about it. There's
comedians
a whole
are on
community about it.
stage
Oh, my body's a
pretending to
temple. All right.
Have a voice that they don't have.
Say something Jewish, quick.
I mean, it's
quick,
a
quick, quick.
Back.
Yeah.
Oh, drafty in here.
I would have loved to hear your voice prior to puberty.
Oh, it wasn't good.
So high. Comedy.
Yeah.
Then finally it shifts.
Yeah. Comedy.
It goes right back down to where it belongs.
You nailed it. It was this, just higher.
Well, yeah.
And I had braces. I had a Jerry curl. It was bad.
Did you
Chubby cheeks.
ever smoke?
Cigarettes?
Yeah.
Not really.
Man, you should.
No.
No, you don't need that.
I don't like.
Because your voice is sexy
It's
now.
deep
How
enough.
much sexier would you be if you smoked?
I mean, this voice is the antithesis of sexy.
Really?
Antithesis? Yeah.
Yeah, antithesis.
Thank you.
I think it's very sexy. Wolf, is his voice sexy or no? See?
And this in bed, flip over.
Well, don't say it like that.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
don't say it
Turn
like
me
that.
over.
Flip over.
Flip me.
You don't sound like you have this New Orleans thing at all. Like, not even a little bit.
No. Well, I didn't.
You sound like Jim
fabricate.
Henson, maybe. And if you sounded like a voice test for Jim Henson. You have such like a
A
unique
voice test.
what do they call it?
like
Broadcast
a
English
voice
voice,
test for
where
someone.
I couldn't pin in journalism. They call broadcast English. Where I couldn't pin where you're from the United States.
Wow, I'll take it. Maybe that's what I wanted.
Yeah, you do.
I didn't
Yes,
want
yeah,
to be
yeah.
pinned down.
No, yeah, you're free as a bird, baby.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I just,
know where you're from.
I just, I guess New Orleans is also like this kind of liberal hub. You go 10 minutes outside, you're eating a gator off of a hot tin roof or whatever. It's pretty liberal. My parents are intellectuals. They're smart as hell. My parents were lawyers. And
Well,
so, yeah, I guess I just built this voice out of something. I don't know.
When I'm with
Are
Mark
they-
on the street,
Pull
often
it up.
people don't recognize him right away because he looks, like a regular guy. But when he's just talking, people are like, I heard your
Nice
voice.
jacket.
Is that you?
Right.
So, like, the voice is almost more distinct than your...
Yeah, this voice has got me nothing. My whole life, it was made fun of, women hated it, whatever, and then all of a sudden it works with comedy.
Well, distinct can be good. I mean, look at Owen Wilson's nose.
True, good point.
Yeah.
Jennifer Grey changes her nose.
Her whole career's gone.
Yeah, I mean,
She was cute with the nose.
Yeah,
I like
you
the
love
honker.
a big honker.
I do like a
Hold it
schnoz.
up.
you do.
I like a beak.
Thank you for watching this entire video right here on Joke World. And while you're here, be sure to check out.
whoa, you need to cut that outro. That's a hard. How you got such a good intro? What was that? You think we want to hear your action? Listen, look at the intro.
Oh, dude, can this guy?
What's the deal with airplane peanuts?
What's the deal with airplane peanuts? There you go, classic Jerry Seinfeld. That's a beautiful intro. You think we want to hear you? You don't even show yourself. Now you want to pop up out of nowhere. Thanks for watching. Stop. At least get a rhythm. If you're gonna bring you up, get a rhythm. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Check you soon. Get a rhythm going. Appreciate you. Wow, you sound like you just had a few beers and you're just like, all right, you ready, babe? All right, record. Hey guys, thanks for. This is not a freaking voice message system. This is an outro. You got a freaking big channel. People come to your channel for comedy all over the world. That's your outro? That's your closer? Come on, Comedy World. Your opening act has to be as strong as your closer. That's your closer. Let's listen to your closer.
The comedians working today, few are better at impersonating their peers than
Exclusive. Joke World exclusive.
Yeah, man.
She was cute.
Those interviews if you
Nas.
You do.
I like a beak.
check out the end screen for more. This entire video right here on Joke World, and while you're here, be sure to check out the end screen for more comedy highlights and news, including a few of our exclusive interviews with Kevin Hart himself. But you can only watch those interviews if you press subscribe first. That's the golden rule. Also, if you're watching this video re-uploaded on Mark's channel, hello. Pretty funny, right?
Oh yeah, never mind. Do what you're doing. Yeah, I don't even think you're trying to get a closer. If that's an outro, that's just you talking. You just talking. Hey guys, by the way, I just wanted to tell you. Alright. I didn't realize you were talking in the beginning too. But I think it's different in the beginning because first you hit us with a good strong. That's a strong opening. Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal? Boom. Then you're not coming out of nowhere because you're explaining what the video is about to be about. Like, hey guys, this is what we're watching, which is always going to be fine. We'll always accept that as long as you're getting right to the. But that's your closer? I mean, come on, guy. You kidding me? Listen to yourself.
Nas.
You do.
And while you're here, thank you for watching this entire video right here on Joke World. And while you're here, be sure to check out the end screen for more comedy highlights and news, including a few of our exclusive interviews with Kevin Hart himself. But you can only watch those interviews if you press subscribe. So that's the golden rule. Also, if you're watching this video
My bad.
uploaded on Mark's channel, hello. Pretty funny, right?
Your opener carried. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say on that. Alright, chat. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Is it hate? Am I hating? Or am I just giving critiques? Alright, chat. Get out. Pardon me. Chat, you could go check out. That's how he sounds. Alright.